In this video, I want to show you exactly how I made $14,296 with less than 700 followers and exactly how you can do it yourself because I was just a regular person. All I did was go through these five different stages, which I've tried to break down in the most comprehensive way as I can. No, I'm kidding. It's not very comprehensive, but it's a summary of my path and exactly what I did to get to the point where I am now. And all my clients now close multiple four-figure deals and they're able to generate multiple five figures of revenue for their own business, which is absolutely amazing. And I hope one day that you can do that for yourself as well. But I wanted to share the exact path of how I did it because people think that you need a lot of followers, massive amounts of traffic to convert and generate a lot of money, but you actually don't. And so I want to share the exact five stages that I went through personally and the mindset and what I actually had to go through and actually think about when it came to delivering and getting these type of results and just doing this for myself. Right. So stage one. So I've tried and tried lots of different things. Video editing. I used to do video editing for multiple businesses like detailing and electrician companies, using YouTube and CapCut tutorials. It was a very lengthy process of trying to learn those things, but you pick it up quickly when you spend hours and hours, obviously editing every single day. And I even tried drop shipping, as you can see. I had these little. It's actually right behind the camera, but I had these little sort of plushy light up toys that were a bit of a gimmick. I can't lie. And here's like the electrician company that I worked with, and here I actually had a mentor who taught me a skill, and the skill that they taught me was appointment setting and sales, and it's one of the most important skills that I think I personally have learned myself in getting into the realm of business because sales is one of the most important skills that you can possibly have when it comes to just communication and being able to sell yourself, but sell any product or service that you're trying to obviously have people pay you for. And so the next thing is that I use those same skills to replicate in other people's businesses. And I got testimonials because you have to understand that the market is at a level five sophistication. And it's a coin term by Eugene Schwartz, where essentially people nowadays are just extremely skeptical. And it's really difficult to sell multiple thousands of dollars of a product or service to someone because they've seen this stuff before. They've seen ads before, they've seen people's content, and they've probably gotten scammed and bought into someone's course or program before. And they likely won't do that again unless there's massive, massive trust. And so testimonials is one of the biggest ways of just getting trust. So you need testimonials. That's why I did that myself. So to explain how I was thinking, I noticed that obviously you need testimonials, but they are actually one of the most important, if not more important than having a good anti-guarantee for someone or giving them money if you fail. So lucky for me, my mentor actually gave me a job at the same time as teaching me how to implement appointment setting and sales. And as a result, I was able to actually not only learn the skill, but apply it and use him as a testimonial for the next businesses that I would apply appointment setting or sales skills to. This left me to stage two. So I got another mentor who actually allowed me to upskill, help me create a better offer and actually install better acquisition systems because appointment setting and sales, it's like appointment setting is client acquisition. However, it doesn't allow you to create the entire funnel, which is the personal brand, which is why you're here watching my video because my YouTube videos, my content are my personal brand. And that's what helps with the client acquisition. So I got another mentor to upskill what I knew to create more of a valuable offer. So we created and used this offer doc to essentially upskill myself and create a better offer that more businesses would actually want. And I knew that these businesses would need my services. So my services were at the time content creation. So I used to run a content agency where we would help essentially people edit, and I would obviously offload the editing to someone, a third party, which obviously I would make a profit off of that. And essentially, what having a mentor did for me was speed up the process significantly. Because if you have someone who's already walked the path, why wouldn't you just pay them money and walk the same path, but skip all of the obstacles that they went through and just save yourself time? Because time is money. If you're able to save time and learn a skill faster than someone else and apply it, then you're going to get a result much quicker. And if you don't see the value in that, then I can't really help you, can I? Like, it's such simple logic, and if you don't see that, I wish you the best. The next thing is that I leveraged cold outreach. I finally did cold outreach because I never had to do it. It was mainly through just warm outbound when I was working with my previous mentor. But I learned how to do cold outreach to get more customers using my previous mentor's testimonials that we got, and then use those testimonials to get people to lock in with my new service. So my new service was a content agency, as I said. And then the next part was stage three. So I worked with a couple high ticket clients, obviously using the testimonials from before, and then transferring them over into my credibility into the sales calls with these new people. I was working with a couple high ticket clients who trusted me, and because I made amazing guarantees as well. Initially, to obviously bridge the trust, because when you only have so few testimonials, even though I got decent testimonials, the person I was working with made $70,000 in monthly recurring revenue, but people want to see more. So you have to combine that, not only just a good testimony, you have to combine that with a good guarantee and a really good offer, because people just want to buy from you. You'd be surprised. People actually want to buy from you, but you just have to make a compelling enough of an offer to make it an easy yes for them. And the reason why people say no to you is because it's just not compelling of an offer enough. And simply, I learned that trust is built over time. And one way to accelerate that is with a personal brand. That's why I obviously started my personal brand. But I only have 700 followers. I'm able to make this kind of money. And so do my clients as well. These people here, if you message them, and you can even ask me, message me on Instagram for these people's profiles, but they have less than 8,000 followers. The most my client ever has in terms of followers is about 10,000 followers. And some people here have 2,000 followers. Some people here, like this person here in the real estate buyers agency niche, they have 200 followers. 200 followers. It's just because the quality of the following is just much better. The concentration of higher quality leads is much better. I'm not saying having more traffic is a bad thing. It's definitely not. Having traffic is amazing, but when you combine traffic with a proper sales system and a sales funnel, which actually generates a lot of quality leads, then it doesn't really matter whether or not you have millions and hundreds of thousands of followers. If you're able to just convert a small group of 300 followers into a high ticket offer. But it's not that you don't. And the thing with high ticket is that you don't have to always sell high ticket. You can sell low ticket and then upsell those people to high ticket. It's not an absolute necessity. Now, this is where I want to explain that once I started building my personal brand, I used the profits from working with my old offer to pay for an overseas editor. So this was obviously during the content agency space, where I obviously just used my editor that was editing for other people's content to edit my content. And that was so much leverage. It created so much leverage. And I simply just used my mentor's SOPs, because I paid for them, right? To not only create my own offer, but to help other people do the same. And also to use these SOPs to teach my VA to do the tasks that I didn't want to do. And as a result, I was able to save so much time and solve client acquisition, because I paid for a bot, and that bot combined with a setter, which is a commission-based setter, allowed me to book calls, but at the same time not have to be in the DMs speaking to people, because it's so difficult trying to do the most leveraged task in your business when you have these small tasks to do that don't contribute to moving your business forward and actually creating something that is innovative and actually can benefit people's lives. If you're constantly stuck doing these small tasks that don't matter at all. And as a result, I was able to fulfill for my clients, because obviously they were hopping on one-on-one calls with me. I had the mental space and the cognitive load to actually speak to and share my thoughts and knowledge and have the freedom to think. And I combine this consulting offer with a done for you hybrid offer, where I'll do some done for you services for them. And at the same time, I was able to help and maximize the amount of client results that we were able to get. And simply, I use those client results to make a secondary page with storage sequences, so that my audience knows that I'm actually legit and an authority in this field. And as a result, you create a loop where your audience knows that you're constantly producing results, and that eventually, if they don't buy from you today or tomorrow, they'll buy from you from 1 month from now or a year from now. And it doesn't have to be a high ticket offer. It can be a low ticket opt in, which eventually feeds them into a funnel, which I call prospect inertia, where they constantly, or money momentum, where they buy something small from you. And as a result, they're going to buy something else from you. And slowly, they're going to spend more money on you and accumulate LTV. And as a result, they'll eventually buy a high ticket offer, which you created so much leverage, because at every single stage of them working with you, they've spent money on you. And eventually they're going to spend thousands of dollars on you. As you can see, I've just screenshotted my client results, which I've just shown you. And I always post these client results on my stories to showcase that I'm an authority, showcase my client results. And that's what I really care about, because at the end of the day, if you have really good marketing, but a horrible product, a horrible service, then it'll reflect. This loop will be dead. It'll be canceled. There will be no loop. But if you have decent marketing, but a really good offer and a product, you will continue the loop. It won't be as efficient. You need both, that's for sure. I can't guarantee that you will be super or hyper successful if you don't have both. But if you have a good service and a good client result, you will have this loop, regardless of how bad your marketing can be. But obviously, marketing is utterly important. Okay. And finally, stage five. So I accumulate a slow but highly engaged following who buy from me. So it doesn't have to be a high ticket 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 plus offer. It can just be $150 per week consulting offer, which I literally sold two people on the past 2 weeks. I sent them one Google Doc and they said, I'm in, no sales call needed. We onboarded them and now I'm helping them for $150 a week, super low ticket. And the next thing is that you want to share everything that you know to the point where you can scale your own coaching consulting offer through your YouTube. But the thing is, the trick is that you don't give away every single aspect of your business. What I mean by that is that you provide insight and not value. You don't give people the exact step by step and know how to do something, but you give them an idea that they are sold on, one that they believe in, one that they see that you have the solution for, but cannot fully access because the level of access that they have to you is just through watching your YouTube. And the next one is even people who DM me, they tell me they close 2K deals from, using my stuff. And it's absolutely insane because what I give away is exactly what people need. And it's the exact solution that they need to their problems. But obviously, it's just enough for them to get some type of result. It's not everything, so that they have a need to still want to work with me. Because otherwise, if I gave them all these solutions, then people are just going to use and abuse you. You can only offer that. And then once they see the value in that, then they're willing to invest into more. That's why people do free trials. I'm not saying do free trials for your own business and consulting and coaching offer. What I'm saying is that when it comes to giving away free value, you have to understand the importance that the value that you give to someone will directly correlate to whether or not they buy from you. Okay. And I keep using the word value, but I really mean insight. Don't give away every single thing, okay? Otherwise, they'll completely exhaust you and people will suck you dry. The next thing is after doing high ticket for so long, I've now created the most leveraged funnel you can possibly use as an agency owner, growth operator, course creator, coach, and consultant. And I believe that this is the most comprehensive model and idea and system that you can use for yourself. And I'm not saying it is the best in the world and it's going to make you a millionaire, but this is one that I have personally come across that I believe is the best. And through my experience, the amount of money that I spent, the amount of time that I spent doing this for myself or for my clients, I believe that this is the best model that you can possibly use for your business. So what it looks like is you have a one-time offer at the very bottom, a workshop, a mini course, an asset that you can sell away, a one-time offer to get your audience to buy something very small from you. The next thing is that you have a low ticket weekly, a low ticket community with a very low level of support because people want access to you. They want to buy from you. When you think about Iman Galaxy or Alex Hormozi, people don't buy into acquisition.com. They don't buy, or iMag Media, I believe it's called. But people don't buy into the company brand, they buy into the people. And so this funnel relies on you being the core driver to the sales. So having a low ticket weekly means that these low ticket community people will have very little access to you, but they're still paying you to become a qualified lead. And as a result, they're able to move through this entire core, through these different mantles to then eventually pay you a very high ticket offer and a premium to get accelerated access to you and obviously more services and more access and more help from you to accelerate their progress. And then from there, you can have a mid-ticket weekly where you have a low-ticket community still, but they get direct DM support. They actually can message you. So even at low ticket weekly, they don't message you at all. You don't have to interact with them, but they're still paying you money for access for course modules, for example. The next one is you have the same as the mid ticket, but then you also get bi-weekly calls with you. They actually get to talk to you. Okay. They can actually directly ask you for help and ask you on a call, which obviously is much better than DMs and having to go back and forth and typing and get you to share screen. Obviously, you're able to solve their solutions much quicker. And then finally is the partnership. A low ticket community, direct DM support, bi-weekly calls, plus done for you services. Maybe you're doing writing for them. You're, I don't know, if you're a fitness coach, doesn't really make sense if you're exercising for them. But let's say you hop on a call with them, you help them grocery shop. And that's exactly the entire funnel. And I wanted to make this video super short, very clear, and very actionable because all you have to do is understand where you are at each stage. If you need testimonials, get more testimonials. And if you need to leverage client acquisition systems, do that for yourself. If you need to make hires, make the hires. And I want to share this with you because this is the exact business model that I'll bring myself and my clients to 100K per month by the end of this year. That's all from me today. Ciao, ciao.